Today, I'm going to tell you guys of one of the most traumatizing stories of my high school experience. So, basically, in high school, I wasn't really popular. I was kind of like the weird, quirky girl. Like, I would go out of my way to be very quirky. Um, I used to watch a lot of Bad Girls Club. So, there's this blonde girl. She's very tall and I really admired her, and she was very ditzy. So I would do a lot of ditzy stuff trying to be cute and adorable. There was this guy, we're gonna call him Ray, and we'll see how his name situates into the whole story when the story is done. So basically, I really, really had a crush on Ray. I really liked him. He was a football player. He was a popular guy. I noticed he was going with this girl. Um, let's call her Nini. He was going with this girl named Nini. She was like a grade higher than us. And me and Ray, we always had good banter. We always had good conversation. We would randomly talk in class. Well, one day I noticed that him and Nini didn't seem like they were cool anymore. And I heard from through the grapevine that him and Nini had broken up. So I was like, wow, this is my opportunity to get my man. So I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened. I don't know if I got his phone number and then I texted him that, hey, I really like you. I would like you to be my boyfriend. And then he ended up saying yes to me. He said, yes, I'll be your boyfriend. So I was so excited. I think I was 16 or 17 years old. I never had a boyfriend before. This was my very first boyfriend. I made this happen. Like, I wasn't going to wait for it. I was going to make it happen. I want a boyfriend. So I went on the internet and I Googled like things a boyfriend is supposed to do. I printed it out, walked to him at his locker and gave him a list of things that he's supposed to do as a boyfriend. And he was laughing and he was like, okay. So I would notice sometimes we would walk in the hallway together, and I would notice that people would laugh, but I didn't really think much of it. Long story short, I'm going to speed up the story because I feel like I'm kind of all over the place with the story because it happened so long ago. I think I was 16 or 17 when the story happened, and now I'm 30. So one of the red flags about is that he would ask me weird questions. Like, he would talk to me about like, this is a rated R story, okay? Because I don't want nobody to come and say I'm poisoning their kids, okay? So if you have a kid, just log out of this, please, because I don't want to be the reason why your kid's childhood is ruined. Long story short, me and Ray would have such weird conversations. I would sit with him at the lunch table with his boys, and we'd have such weird conversations. He would ask me, what's the biggest dick you've ever seen? Like, how long was it? Like, weird questions like that. And I was like, oh, he's a boy, he's immature. I didn't think much of it. Well, one day I had a friend who was very, very messy. A messy friend. So he told me that Ray had messaged him on Kik. Do you guys remember what Kik was? Kik was like a messaging app. It was a messaging app that all the young people were using in high school. Like, everybody was using it. So he told me that Ray had been messaging him. And when he told me that, I really didn't care. I was like, okay, so what? Mind you, this boy, let's call him Juan. He was very, very messy. So I'm like, okay, so what? And he was like, no, you don't understand though. You don't understand. So I'm like, okay, what do you mean I don't understand? And then he tells me that basically a long time ago, he had a project with Ray. They had a group project with Ray. So he had stored his phone number in his phone. Well, he says a random person, a random Mexican guy messaged him with a whole different picture trying to catfish him, messaged him saying, send me a picture of your dick and I'll send you a picture of a vagina. And then he messaged the person like, who is this? And the person wouldn't respond who it was. So basically he went into the profile, looked at the phone number, and then recognized, oh, I have this person's phone number in my phone, and it was Ray. And then everything started clicking. Why he was always talking about penises randomly. I just thought it was a boyhood thing, basically. I thought, oh, this is what boys do. Boys joke around about penises and stuff. And then somehow Juan also told me, hey, by the way, he's telling people that you're his cousin. And then everything started clicking again on why people were randomly laughing at me in the hallways. And then he was like, and by the way, him and the whole football team have a bet that you're gonna sleep with him. So everything just started clicking. The looks, the glances that he would make with the other football players, how girls were laughing at me in the hallway, everything started clicking. And I think at this time, Ray did not know that Juan had caught on to him, basically. So I decided I'm going to get revenge. But because I'm such a passive-aggressive person, I got revenge in such a strange and weird way. So I had an idea of who the people are that talk in the school. So basically, I told this story that Juan had told me not to tell anybody. I told this story in the presence of popular girls who I knew would spread it. So it spread throughout the whole school that Ray was gay. And I felt like he tried to play with me. He tried to ruin me, so I'm going to ruin him too. Long story short, that boy could not get a prom date in the whole entire school. And to add insult to injury, I'm so passive aggressive. You know how you have like a yearbook quote, and this is when I say like everything, like the name that I gave him in the story, everything correlates. Like there's a reason why I named him Ray in the story. His real name is not Ray, but it's something similar to Ray. So let's say his name is Ray. In the yearbook, I said something like, there are many different rays in the rainbow. Like in my yearbook, like my end of year quote, there are many different rays in the rainbow. Just be gay. Something like that. And that's what I put in my yearbook. I was willing to have my last words be something petty. And Ray got the message. He didn't come and talk to me. I didn't come talk to him. There was no conversation. And I felt like I had gotten my revenge, and that's all there is to it. You can call me a bad person. I call me a person who what's good for the goose is good for the gander. A person who got payback. A person who, if you can dish it, you can take it. Because he literally had a bet with the whole football team to ruin me, in my opinion. So let me know what you think about me. Maybe I'm a bad person, but if you can dish it, you can take it. So it is what it is.